Ой, давно, батенько було.
On March 22, 2022, I spoke with UCCVI Board Director and pillar of the Victoria Ukrainian Community, Victoria Grando. We spoke about the history of the Ukrainian Cultural Center, what the center means to the Vancouver Island Ukrainian Community, and how the center is currently supporting Ukraine during the current brutal Russian invasion.
So I'm Victoria Grando. I'm office manager at the Ukrainian Cultural Center. I'm also a member of Cultural Center's board of directors, and I'm also secretary for Ukrainian Canadian Congress BC Provincial Council.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today. And just do you want to begin with a little bit of an overview of how long the center has been around for and what the center, does?
So center was established in 1978. We had a group of individuals that were members of both churches, Ukrainian Catholic Church and Ukrainian Orthodox Church, and also members of, at that time, they had musicians, musical group, they had choir, they had dancers, and they decided, oh, well, our community is growing and we need to start looking for a facility that would house all of us and become just a big home for all of us, and be ambassador of Ukrainian culture in Victoria, Saanich, so the Up Island communities. So it took them 10 years to find the facility, and finally there was a old abandoned church on the 3277 Douglas Street, and it was purchased and it turned into Ukrainian Cultural Center that we have today.
Nice. That's fantastic. It's so beautiful to hear an origin story of, such an important space like the Ukrainian Cultural Center, because look at how long it's been around, and it's a space. It's an important space. So.
Absolutely. The main goal is that this is not only designated for Ukrainian community, it is open to everyone. That's very important, because we often get phone calls, people asking if they're allowed to come to the cultural center if they're not Ukrainian. Especially you get a lot of it when we serve our Ukrainian suppers. So just letting them know that you don't have to be Ukrainian to come to the Ukrainian Cultural Center or enjoy our suppers. So yeah.
I think the beauty of this is just for anyone who's listening, and I'm sure many listeners are well aware of the existence and the significance of the Victoria Ukrainian Cultural Center, but for anyone that maybe isn't totally familiar, I think it's important for them to understand the importance of having a cultural center for Ukrainian Canadians, and it's a hub. I would assume it's a space that is a home away from home in a sense. So given all of the things that are taking place right now, outside of Canada, what are some of the best ways and to do something to help support Ukraine and to help support the Ukrainian community in Victoria?
So because of course we were not prepared, all of us were not prepared. It's sudden, and we still it's surrealistic, still 21st century. What we have at the Ukrainian Cultural Center is that we did set up a donation box. We gather money for people that are expecting to come to Victoria or Vancouver Island from Ukraine. I have to clarify that this is not a refugee program. This is temporarily relocated people, so temporarily visiting Canada. This program is called Canada Ukraine Authorization Visitor.
Okay, cool.
anyways, so we are expecting who will be coming is that the women with children.
Mm.
They will be allowed to work in Canada and study in Canada.
Mm.
For the housing, we are working together with Ukrainian Canadian Congress National and decided to put everything under one roof. Specifically, the reason is that Ukrainian Canadian Congress National Office works closely with the government.
Mm.
They are representatives of Ukrainian Canadian community. So they will have a database. If you go to their website, www.ucc.ca,
Mm.
you can register if you would like to host or offer services such as dental, legal, doctors. Put your name, or if you want to help with translations. This will go into one hub, as you mentioned, and all this information will be available to the newcomers.
Okay, so folks should go to your website if they want to be able to donate services or any form of support. Okay.
If people want to donate specifically to the Ukrainian Cultural Center, they may e-transfer us. Again, our email is available on our website.
Okay.
Our website is slightly different. It's www.uccvi.com.
Vancouver Island. I made that mistake earlier. I was saying Victoria when it's Vancouver Island.
Yeah. Actually, the legal name of Ukrainian Cultural Center is Ukrainian Canadian Cultural Society of Vancouver Island.
We both are doing it differently.
So exactly.
It's okay.
So AKA whatever, Ukrainian Cultural Center, Ukrainian Hall, Ukrainian Church. We get all of that. So
the message is in the right place. The name is in the right place. We're trying to say it, and it's coming from a good place.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. This is great. This is exactly what folks need to know. And I've been doing this more often. I want to open the floor up if there's anything you want to mention that I haven't.
Yes, I would like to just let people know, unfortunately, we don't have a capacity to collect clothes or furniture. And I don't think that the newcomers will need that right away, honestly. The government is working on cooperating with organizations such as probably Red Cross, United Way, to help them settle here. So they're looking to pay for their airfare. There are 3 designated airports where they will be arriving: Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. Cool. But like I've mentioned, if government will be, and I know they will, pay airfare, that will be only for people that applied for this emergency visa, not the visitor visa, not the family sponsorship, no.
Okay.
So basically, they will also have to be self-isolated 2 weeks. So we are hoping that, again, that will be covered. So hotel stay will be covered for 2 weeks. So we're holding talks with the government here and there, and you know how government is, you know.
Slow. It can be slow.
Bureaucrats took them a while to decide what they want to do with Ukrainian. Is it a refugee, not refugee? Actually, honestly, I'm happy they decided not to give the refugee status. This refugee is very hard. You have to go through so many things.
Yeah.
So at least they have an opportunity to to work and study. Yeah, which is absolutely great, so
beautiful.
That's what I wanted to comment, because we get tons of Pascal, we get like every half a second phone rings, and then we have questions like, oh, I want to host, I want to host.
Yeah.
Things that went through my mind. I thought, okay, we collected probably over 1,000 names, homes that want to host, but do we know these people, right?
Nice, nice.
You have to screen them, and that's why Ukrainian Canadian National decided to put everything together. So we have it by provinces, by cities, and because they're working close with the government, they'll screen them, check them,
Yeah.
things like that. And even like with the employment opportunities, you have to make sure that when people come to Canada, that they're safe here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot to take on for a community society, to have to go through all the screening and all this. And it's wonderful that people want to help, but you got to have, a protocol.
Exactly. Like, for instance, like I said, no clothes, no furniture. I had a phone call from this lovely lady. She's from Sydney. Oh, my husband passed away, and I have his old uniform, army uniform. And I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, probably circa 1942.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Well, actually, my friend that is involved with Ukrainian community in Vancouver, and they are collecting clothes. And she said, oh yeah, Victoria, we had those uniforms, I said, collect them, put them in the museum or something like that.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
know people want to help, and when it started, then people kind of started panicking. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? But when you're overflowed, like.
Exactly.
So you have to.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's almost just nice to know that there is a very large, contingent of Victoria.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
They see reason and they are supportive, right?
Yes.
Because that's such a big part of this whole conversation right now, right?
Yes, exactly. And unfortunately, Ukrainian Cultural Center, we don't have a charitable number, so we cannot issue tax receipt. But then we get these wonderful people that would write check for $1,000, or we had today donation by a Navy veteran, $5,000. And I told him, I said, I'm so sorry, sir, I cannot issue a check. Heck with it, and that's it. I want to help. I want to know that this money will go to people that needed it. And I said, we already sent 2,000 Canadian dollars to Ukraine, and our sources there, they bought 25 bulletproof vests for paramedics.
Oh, wonderful. Wow, that's good. Wow.
We also sent 300 euros to, there is a program, there is a charity in Germany that supplies insulin.
Oh my, Frank, because nobody can get any of their.
Exactly.
Oh my, and all
my mom is diabetic, and then literally I had that thought at night. I said, oh my God, people with diabetes, children, how can they get the insulin?
They can't.
And then Pascal, I wake up in the morning and I get a message from my friend that is there. And Elena says she's also diabetic, and she says, my husband goes to Germany. He picks up this insulin. Can you help me? Because I did mention to her, if you know the charity or you're doing something volunteering, let me please know, and we can send you money, because people bring money and we want to go, that money to go, to people that indeed need it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I was so happy, and she started crying. I said, I thought about it. It's life essential, you need insulin. How can you get the insulin? And she says, yeah, we're doing that, thankfully, to this charity in Germany.
That's great. That's great. There's for all of the nightmares, the atrocities, the genocide, the hideousness is taking place right now. There's been some really beautiful coming together of groups to support. it makes you feel hope for humanity, right? Makes you feel
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. It is. I perhaps we have to go through this wake up call. You know that.
big expensive wake up call, but yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. You get so comfortable. You get so comfortable. You start to kind of take it for granted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you lose the real appreciation of what you have.
Yeah.
I got so many oh my gosh, every evening I have a therapy thing going on. So I have to talk to one my friends that are here, because we're so divided. We feel guilty that we're here.
Right.
We're not there. Many of us, of course, still have family, like parents, even like siblings, or just close friends, and we're so worried about them. So so I get the phone calls. Oh my gosh, like I was 11:30 yesterday. I hear that the messenger is ringing. My friend from Montreal. I said, Ira, why are you not sleeping? She says, I can't, because like I'm trying to talk to a little bit of sense to my mom. She's got the Canadian visa. Mom, come.
Oh,
She
she's
says,
over
no,
there.
but her brother is there.
Oh
And
my God.
and men can leave 18 to 60 years old. They can't leave
No.
Ukraine.
Yeah, everybody's even.
And she goes like, no, he is here. I will not leave him alone. Like, oh my God, he's a big boy. He's 35. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and it's necessary right now. That's like,
yeah,
it's scary to think that, but that's necessary.
that's necessary. Yeah. So
Oh.
my family, my friends are mostly in Kiev. So I'm from Kiev originally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 2 days ago, there was a heavy bombing. The bomb dropped on one of the newest malls in Kiev, and it was so loud that like the whole city kind of shook. Like really heavy, like crazy. So people got scared, and they started phoning and what's going on, and then you follow news, and
Stress. It's a beautiful city. Everything, there's so much exquisite beauty and culture and history within Ukraine, and to see the nightmares is just disgusting.
Yeah,
it's awful. And Zelensky is just holding down the fort like nobody's business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, hopefully, as they say in Ukraine, everything will be Ukraine. Everything will be Ukraine. That's for
Everything
sure.
will be Ukraine. That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Everything will be Ukraine. Thank you for talking with me today. Thank you for sharing all this important information for folks who want to help, and just for sharing a story for other folks that are struggling right now because they're having a similar experience with family and friends. I think that's the best we can do right now, is just share and unify in every piece of the story. So
absolutely, absolutely, you will be helpful when, like I said, women and children will be arriving. They need your support. Be patient with them if they don't speak English or something like that. You might get some students in the university, in colleges, that already started college and university in Ukraine, but unfortunately they have to leave. Yeah,
they have to relocate. So be nice, be supportive, help everybody.
Yes, exactly. Be nice, smile. That's it. Don't be mean to each other. That's it.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Thank you for chatting with me, Victoria, and sharing your optimistic insights of humanity in the face of real tragedy. I want to remind folks to head to the Ukrainian Cultural Center of Vancouver Island website for the directions and info on how you can donate money and support to Ukraine.